We're about a quarter of the way done with Octoberfest, and I've been looking at a lot of classics and seeing how they've been remade over the years. And this one here is no exception. One of my favorites, and a favorite of many, A Nightmare on Elm Street. This was back in 1984, and it brought the slasher craze just even further in the forefront than it already was. This was definitely a film that took some risks for the genre and for its own purpose, and it paid off immensely. So there's no doubt in considering this one a classic. Now we're going to finish off talking about the Platinum Dunes remakes. They made their name as the premier studio to remake the classic horror films. They already took care of Leatherface and Jason. Michael Myers was already butchered, so they thought, why not Freddy Krueger? Now, I just want to give the praise to Platinum Dunes that all of their remakes look great. They capture the environments very well and give a dark, brooding atmosphere in each of their films. But that is the thing they're best at, and that's all the Nightmare on Elm Street remake really had going for it. They turned Freddy into an angry, boring villain in an attempt to make him more intimidating. I understand they wanted something a little bit more serious, but Freddy was so iconic because of his sick and twisted, humorous personality. He had so much fun murdering children, and that's what made him creepy, even though he became a cartoon character later on. The new Freddy is just not very interesting. He's given a possible sympathetic backstory that could be a fine angle, but it doesn't work out in the long run. I'll appreciate that they at least took the risk of changing up Freddy a bit, but it wasn't effective. There is a cool thing or two about the movie though. The whole micro-nap idea is pretty interesting and a somewhat clever way to keep the film going.
Then it says at the 70-hour mark, the insomniac will begin to experience micro-naps. His brain will begin to shut down its functions for several seconds in an attempt to recharge itself. This basically means that you're dreaming, but you don't know it. Like even if you're awake.
And again, the look is great. With that said, there's not really much more to talk about with this one. This is just another Platinum Dunes remake that pretty much goes nowhere with the material, but again, I didn't hate it. I'm not sure why, because I know this isn't a good film. I think I just have some weird appreciation for their efforts that makes me a little less cynical. I don't expect these films to be great or even that good. I just want to be entertained, and these films seem to just cut it barely. If Platinum Dunes focused more on original horror films, I'm sure they'd have their own classics someday. But originality may just be a thing of the past.